You're about to listen to a Metal Express Radio exclusive interview. Head on over to metalexpressradio.com for our latest rock and metal interviews. And while you're there, check out our web radio, read our reviews, and rock and metal news. Enjoy the interview.
Hi, this is Mick Burgess, and I'm joined today by none other than Richie Ramone. Richie, how are you doing?
Doing real good this morning. How are you, man?
Very well, thanks. The show last night was absolutely fantastic. It was lively, energetic, everything that a punk rock show should be. Have the rest of the shows been like that on this tour?
Yeah, they've been pretty good. I thought last night, though, may have been the best one so far. We just started like 5 days ago, but last night was really good. The crowd, was ready to go from the first song,
And you had people on stage dancing, you had members of the crowd singing along with you with your microphone, so it was pretty all-inclusive, really.
Yeah, my show, a big part of it is the fans. They're everything, I want them to be part of the fun, know.
And I certainly felt that from hearing what they were saying afterwards, after the show, when people were walking out, was a very, very positive feeling. So,
what were they saying?
Job well, great, energetic, fantastic.
So that's good.
Good job. But it's a pretty extensive tour you've got lined up. Is this the biggest tour you've done around here for quite a while?
No, we did a big one here we were here in May. I guess this past May. Last year, May, yeah. And we did, we usually do like 2 weeks in the UK and then go over to Europe. So we're doing the same type of thing now.
Well, it's good to see you up in Newcastle. What sort of crowds do you tend to get on these shows? Are they tend to be the older Ramones fans? Are they bringing the kids now?
It's kind of funny you say that because, the dads are coming with their daughters or whatever, because the Ramones fans are spread over 4 generations now.
Yeah.
You have people who start listening to them in the 70s, late 70s, all the way to now. So, they bring their kids and it's kind of fun. Plus you have, new people. It's all broken up. The fans, you have the 80s Ramones fans when I was in the band. You have the early 70s with Tommy and blah, blah, blah. So it's fun. It's cool to see that,
Yeah, and I think the set list sort of reflected that. You had some of the like you said, the 70s Ramones, the time when you were in the band,
right,
and stuff off your new solo album as well. So it was a good all-around mix there.
Yeah, it all mixes well.
Yeah.
My new material, it all, it's not like, you could barely tell what's going on,
So does the set list evolve sort of from show to show, or do you sort of try and keep it fairly static?
It usually stays pretty static, but I change some things around and I'll call some audibles depending on, what I'm feeling from the crowd, what they want to hear, so.
Because your current band includes Alex Kane from Anti-Product and Claire as well. How did you first connect with Alex?
In Los Angeles, I think a few years ago, and we tried some stuff and it didn't work, and then now he's been with me now for the last two years. Yeah,
because he's finding time to go out on the road with Stars as well, isn't he? Busy man.
Yeah. He's going out with Stars? Oh, okay. Where, in the UK?
Oh, I don't know, but I know he's played some shows with Stars. I don't know.
Yeah. He keeps busy. He's a workaholic, that guy.
Because Claire was also in Anti-Product, as I said. Having the connection between the two band members made it sort of easy for them to sort of gel together.
No, I had
away.
Claire before I had Alex.
Nice.
Yeah, and then later on I changed from Tommy Bolin and got Alex. So it's always evolving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Ben was a busy guy last night. Guitar, singing, drums.
Yeah, he's
working hard.
He's amazing. He's been with me the longest now, 4 years, and he learned a lot from me about playing drums, and he just he's another these are hard workers, and that's what you need. We sit around all day, so when it's time to work, everybody works.
That was the biggest surprise for me, seeing you step out from behind the drums. Your guitar's going.
Yeah, well, I can't. You can't entertain a whole show singing and behind the drums. You need to get out there. You need to, be able to touch the fans and have fun with them.
I was noticing during a couple of the songs, I think Warthog springs to mind. It's hard enough coordinating your arms and feet when you're playing the drums.
Yeah.
How on earth do you manage to sing and play that fast at the same time? How long did it take you to get up to speed on that?
The first time. I mean, I'm playing drums for over 50 years now, and I always, as a kid, was drumming and singing, you know what I'm saying? So it's all natural to me.
Yeah.
The thing with this kind of music is finding enough air in your lungs to breathe and to sing, and to, you have to breathe around the drumming, and then you have to breathe around the phrasing of the words. So it's constant, going in there. So it's not for everybody.
No. We mentioned your latest solo album, Entitled. It's been a fair while since you recorded new material. I mean, why is it taking so long to get some new songs out?
Because I like, I just don't record anything, it takes me some time, but we just finished our second album now. It's called Cellophane, and we did it at Red Bull Studios in Los Angeles, and they're mixing it right now. So that should be out in May. It's a really good record. So.
And you did a preview at the show last night?
Yeah, I did. I Fixed This, which will be the first single. Yeah.
I mean, were any of the, say on Untitled, were any of the songs sort of dating back to those Ramones days? Are these all sort of written?
Well, Untitled, I redid, I don't know, 4 or 5 songs that I wrote with the Ramones, because that's like a transition record where I wanted, I wanted the fans to hear my voice, and I wanted them to, recognize some of the songs. I didn't want to throw a whole bunch of new songs at them. So now this one is all, it's 9 new songs, and because I'm Richie Ramone, but I'm still kind of like a new artist because I'm singing now. So.
Yeah. And have you been writing with Alex? Is Alex your main songwriting partner?
I wrote 2 songs with Alex, and I wrote 1 with Ben, and I wrote 3 with Adam Bones from the 210s. I wrote 1 with Tina DeGeorge from Easy Tiger. So the last record I basically wrote everything. This record, I got some, key influences from these other writers that made me take off and took a little strain off. But still, writing the words and melodies to all these songs is a big deal for me,
Yeah. I mean, did you produce the record yourself, or have you brought
this one? No, I've used Paul Rossler. He's been around, he used to play with Nina Hagen, and he's a keyboard player, really nice guy, and he's doing a killer job. So.
Yeah. So how long have you spent on the recording process?
We did, we recorded the basic tracks in a week, really, and some singing, and then I finished some more singing over at Paul's studio the following week before we came. So probably in 2.5 weeks, the whole album is done, and now it's being mixed. When I get home, I may change a few little things, and that's it.
Did you do it the old-fashioned way of sort of everybody in the studio, or did you?
Everybody playing at one time, and then once I got the drum track that was right, then they would play to that drum track again. Yeah. So we'd, instead of like fixing every little part, Paul suggested, well, if we just play it 3 or 4 times, if they play it, we'll have the parts that they messed up on previous times. You know what I'm saying? So it made it easier. So you get a couple takes, and and then if there's a bad note there or there, we can pull from another section.
Yeah, and it keeps it fresh, and it keeps the sort of energy in there as well.
I don't like, just piecemealing the record together and putting it on the grid and making it so perfect. That's not rock and roll to me. They didn't record that way back in the day, and I don't think you should now. No.
Because I mean, you probably most well known for your time in the Ramones in that sort of mid-period of the 80s. How did you end up in the band? Did you know that?
Well, no, that's a funny. I saw him in high school. I was years younger than those guys, and there was a band, The Shirts, with Annie Gold, and they used to play CBGBs back in the day, and they had this big house in Brooklyn, 3 stories, and they had a recording studio. It was like a hangout. Every day, we'd go there and hang out and party, and there was always action there. So one day I'm hanging out, and little Matt, who was the Ramones roadie, he said, I gotta go to the city now. And I said, where you going? He said, the Ramones are auditioning drummers. And I said, put my name in the hat. Well, next week I got a call from Monty, the tour manager. Went down, and just auditioned like anybody else would audition. So being in the right spot at the right time changed my whole life to be part of this amazing band.
And then you got the accolade of the Ramones surname as well. I mean, do you have an initiation ceremony, or is that just right, there you go?
No, it's kind of initiation. I remember this was funny because I was already doing shows and made the psychotherapy video, and they still never said I'm in the band. And we'd go to the in-stores, and my name at that time was Richie Beau, B-E-A-U. I would sign Richie Beau, and they'd all sign their names Ramone. And then probably after 3 months, they said, oh, this is crazy, you got to sign Richie Ramone. So I said, fine. But the people who have that signature with them, it's a rare collectible now, and so they have a little value to that signature,
Because when you joined for the Too Tough to Die album, I mean, were a lot of those songs already written at that point, or did you have some input in how the album turned out?
I think I wrote Humankind on that song. The way it worked is we'd go up to the manager's office, everybody bring their songs, and we listen and, pick what songs, because we all kind of wrote separately, and pick what songs on the album. But, Johnny wouldn't want me to have more than one song because I would get all the writing royalties, so
that's how it works.
But so what would happen is Martin from Beggar's Banquet, our UK label, he loved me, and he would always take another song of mine and put it on the album here. So the UK albums were different; they had an extra song.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, was it strange having former drummer Tommy producing that album? Did you?
No. I mean, listen, I was like 24 years old. I was a kid going in there. Tommy didn't tell me anything. He just said, listen, do what you do. You're great, and that's it. And, nobody, I didn't, people ask me that. I didn't feel nothing. I felt, I was kind of quiet in the beginning because I'm typically kind of shy. But Joey took me under his wing, and we were just friends from day one. And we never, for the 4 years and 10 months, whatever it was I was in that band, we were together every day.
Because you played in the solo album as well, didn't you? Later on.
Played like 4 or 5 songs on that too.
So how would you say your drumming style differed from, say, Tommy and Marky, who preceded you in the band?
Well, there's a certain style to the Ramones. That's what it is. I mean, I'm a versatile drummer. I read music. I've studied all kinds of different music. I could play pretty much anything, but this is the kind of music I like to play. I think. Maybe it's a little, the drummer changes the sound of the band. You change drummers, you're getting a different sound, as opposed to Tommy, who was light, and Marky. I'm a little more locomotion, man. When it comes, man, I'm going, and you got to catch me, and here we go,
Saw that last night.
Oh.
Yeah. I saw that last night. Because on the next album, Animal Boy, you worked with Jean Beauvoir, who was with the Plasmatics, and he was offered the job of being in Prince's band as well, so that the guy he's worked with Kiss as well.
Right. Yeah.
He's a highly talented
nice
man.
guy.
Yeah. And I mean, what did he bring to the Ramones from your point of view?
Nothing. We were trying different producers, and he wanted to do some songs. It's really weird, when you have a producer, you got to be able to work. You got to like them. If they're pulling you the wrong way, so. But John did good. Did he do the whole album or just a couple songs?
I don't know. I think was that one Daniel Ray worked on it as well.
That was Halfway to Sanity. Daniel Ray worked on. But no, John's a great guy. I still stay in touch with him now.
Yeah. Because Daniel's was actually here last summer with the Dictators.
Right.
Yeah, and they're coming back in August. So they've gone down pretty well when they've come on tour. They played for the first time in England in 37 years, just not last year, the year before. So waited a long time to see them, and they didn't disappoint.
Oh, good.
You ended up singing lead vocals on "Something to Believe In." Did you sort of push
not something
forward?
to believe in? No. I was saying you can't say anything nice.
Yeah, right. Did you push yourself forward for that? Did you want to do that?
I didn't want to do it. I said, Joey, you're the singer, but he really wanted me to sing that song. And so So I did it.
Did you sort of class yourself as a singer before that, or did that sort of spark the idea off that you wanted to do?
No, I've sang before in other bands and stuff like that, but not to that degree. I mean, the Ramones were my first national act.
Yeah.
Where it was touring the world and making records.
Yeah. Because on Halfway to Sanity, you had Debbie Harry and Walter Lura from the Heartbreakers. And Walter was in Newcastle just a few months ago. So you have the Ramones, Blondie, and the Heartbreakers all on one song.
They're all local village guys from, everybody was from New York City, from the village, so we were all friends.
Yeah, and did they come to the studio? You were all together in the studio?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you sort of left in 1987, so why did you decide that was the time to go?
87, yeah. Why did I decide? Well, there's a few reasons. Everybody knows about the merchandise, that John wouldn't give me a cut, and it was getting annoying, after being in the band for so many years, no one was asking for an equal percentage, but you got to do something. I mean, when we would come here, the van would pull up to the bank every day, everybody get envelopes and go change them to American greenbacks, and you just sat in the van, so it was like stupid. It was stupid on him. Plus, we lost a record deal with Sire, so there was no more big budget money being made for the records. And I really, Joey and Dee Dee wanted me. Anything I wanted, they would have gave me. But John kept fighting it, and I was a bratty punk kid at that time. I was 29. I said, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going.
Yeah. So when you look back on that time, do you sort of look back with sort of a fun memory, or is it sort of slightly?
It's a fun memory, I mean, when you look back, I quit. Was that the smartest thing? Maybe not. Mm-hmm. Maybe I could have stayed and wrote some more songs, like somebody put something in my drink. But even at that age, you can't be, taken advantage of, and so you make a decision, you live by it, and you move on. You don't question yourself again and go, oh, I shouldn't have did that, and be all, angry about it,
Yeah. I think you said as a drummer in the Ramones, you play to a certain formula. Does the classical composition you've done, the suite for drums and orchestra, give you that sort of different outlet to sort of try different stuff?
Yeah, I did that, and then the orchestra's crashed. We got, I wanted to do something different. I took like 10, 12 years off after the Ramones. I didn't do nothing. I didn't even pick up a drumstick. And I just got the idea of doing that because I loved West Side Story, and I only did like 6 different shows of that, and I loved it. And I may do that again someday, but what got me back into the rock and roll was Mickey, Joey's brother, invited me in 2006 to the Joey Ramone birthday bash. So I played that, then I played it the next year, and I played the next year, and then I started writing. I could feel my blood, what was something was missing, and then people said you should do a record, and I said I never made a record. I'm gonna do that. But one thing led to another, and that's how the whole thing started up again for me.
Yeah, and you've never looked back since?
Nah.
No. So after the UK shows, and are you heading over to Europe for some dates over there?
Yeah, we start in Brussels on February 17th, and we go to Poland and Czech Republic and Italy, and we'll be there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And we get back to Los Angeles March 8th.
And then for the rest of the year, you begin up for releasing the new album, and then probably another round of
No, I mix, then I go to Mexico, then I go to Australia and Japan. And then I do 6 weeks in the United States in June. So, no, we're keeping busy.
Busy.
And then once this album comes out, then we'll be back here in November, do another extensive tour in support of that new record. I want, that's why I'm not playing all these songs from the new record, because I want people to have it in their hand and understand it, because I find it very difficult. I don't care what band it is, when they play a song you never heard before. It's kind of hard to absorb it. But last night when we played I Fix This, they really liked it, so,
Well, like you said before, I think it's a good bridge between the established material and the new material. Pop one new one in.
I want to get the reaction of what's going on. Maybe I'll pop a different one in at another show just to see. Because when I write visuals too. I write to what it's going to be like live when I perform it. So it's good to test it out.
Yeah, great. Well, Richie, thank you very much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure loved the show last night, and I'm looking forward to see you again in November.
Okay, thank you so much, man.
You just listened to a Metal Express Radio exclusive interview. Head on over to metalexpressradio.com for our latest rock and metal interviews. And while you're there, check out our web radio, read our reviews, and rock and metal news.